So running a little bit late this morning, so we're straight into the match. Peg 26 as you've seen, Sedges Topkit League. This is the second round for Group B. So I just fed a few pieces of meat in front. We tried 6mm to start with today because it's so flat. I think it's going to be a difficult match. So I just tried down the edge there for 5 minutes, nothing. Just to give that a bit of a rest in front really, and we've just, as you've seen, just flicked a few little bits of 6s in as well. Same as always, just to the end of the top kit, not all the way to the float, so we're fishing just off the back of it. I mean, I see this fishing difficult today. I said that because it's just so flat really, and when it's flat like this there's no water movement, and when there's no water movement it can be very difficult. So fishing 6mm on that slightly smaller meat is give us small fish early, as you can see. Don't really mind that because I think small fish, when you stop catching them all of a sudden, it can mean a better fish has moved in. Also, you're mounting a little bit of weight at the same time, aren't you? They're stamp fish, or you know, they're not tiny fish. Um, and of course, like small fish feeding as well will attract better fish. It can attract other fish. You know, it definitely catches their attention. But at the same time, having said this, I am aware that the first hour will be critical today because I think you'll catch for the first hour a little bit, and then I think going into sort of second, third, even the fourth hour of this match could be really difficult. The last couple of hours, I do expect fish to turn on a little bit. We'll have to see. I think the part personally will be very late. We don't mind little skimmers that stamp. I'm getting a tiny skimmer of foot in here, Neil, but they're like 3 ounces. Yeah. Don't mind, it's tight, isn't it? Yeah, little ones. Funny, isn't it? Same as me, mate. No problem. No, you know what? Oh, come off. Yeah, just come off, mate. So we've not tried off the back of the feed yet. We're slightly off the back, as we said, you know, a few inches or even a foot off the back, but not like the rig we normally fish where we got the full length of the 3 meters and we swing it out. If you remember the rules of the top kit or 3 meter league, it's 3 meters in your hand. You can't have anything behind your elbow, nothing else on the bank. 3 meters or less, I should say. And then also you can have as long as that 3 meters is of line to swing out past, and we've got a rig like that just to fish further down that shelf in case we need to. So we've caught a few on a little bit of meat there, as you can see, and then what we've done now is put in a little bit of micros and meat, and we've going off the back to have a look. And sure enough, we've got a stamp skimmer off the back. Now the reason I didn't run straight at the back and think, oh, let's fish off the back straight away sort of thing, and come off those small fishes, you wanted them to settle off the back of the feed and start getting comfortable and possibly start coming up the shelf and over the feed. So 25 minutes into the match now, and that's our first real stamp fish. So lovely, back on top of the feed, having sort of rested it by fishing off the back, look, and we're back over it and we've got a nice stamp skimmer again.
I was wondering why you were thrashing the water to a boat. I thought the wind had picked up. I was getting so many ripples here, Neil, I thought the wind picked up. I thought the wind picked up because of all the ripples from your float. Yeah, that scared the shit out of him.
Scared him away?
Yeah, that'll teach him a lesson. I have seen one, but I must admit, even with Polaroids on, it's a job to see them unless they break surface, isn't it?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you?
Yeah.
Trouble is, I've got all light water here.
So incredibly, a couple of fish have sort of gone to swim by, so I'm just flicking a mugging rig at them, and one of them's turned because he can hear it. And incredibly, next door, Neil has just caught a pair of Matrix sunglasses, and he's asking me if they're mine. And he asks me just at the wrong time as we miss a bite. Unbelievable.
Oh God, Michael. No, I got them on. That made me jump then.
Well, that's typical of the day, isn't it, really? Can't believe that. We missed a dig. Now, whether it was a bite or he just lined me slightly, I don't know, but that was the only chance we had all day of sort of mugging one. Believe it or not, when you do mug one down, and I have mugged up, I've mugged up to, I think, up to 3 in the past in a match. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it, fishing 3 metres as well, but they're always big. I think the 3 I mugged went about £40. Going back a bit, that was, but a good fish. This is our first quality fish for a very long time. We actually went a long time without a bite. So did a lot of other people as well. And as I sort of feared, I knew those middle hours it would just go really, really difficult. Now, it's been the same for everybody, but Neil to my right and Jess to his right for the last 30 minutes caught an odd quality skimmer between them, and I'm suddenly thinking perhaps I'm being too positive. Now listen, I don't normally move away from my game plan, but on this occasion I've got out another rig, I've got out some grey hydro, which is a bit lighter, isn't it? I've got out just a 4x14 still, 4x14 rube, but I've put a 014 hook length on. Generally fishing 016, and 018 even if the carp really rock up. But so we're on 014 and I've gone to a smaller hook, an 18 hook as well, just to see if it makes a difference. And incredibly we catch a skimmer nearly straight away now. Did that make a difference, or is it just a one-off?
Sat there a bit too positive down here, haven't I? No, he's on. But that goes to show, mate, I've been sat there way too positive, haven't I? Got a feeling there's no odds at all here. Oh, take it back.
What a difference that lighter kit's making. I'm a little bit surprised at that, to be honest. We've gone sort of 2 hours with really not a lot at all. Yeah, and we've gone on this lighter rig, and within 5 minutes I've had this is my second good skimmer. So I think I've got to say it has made a difference, hasn't it?
That doesn't sound good. Oh, close on the paint now, mate, isn't it? It's all tight, isn't it? It's all tight on the paint. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Find yourself now. 12.
We have noticed today though is regardless of what sort of size rig we've got on, is that the fish I have caught have been sort of on the feed. So with the rig we fished down the shelf further and off the back of the feed, which I really did expect the catch on today, being so still and lack of water movement, etc. That's not been the case. It's been mainly catching rotten top when they've been there.
Now, 18. Earlier, mate, I was on like a big 16. Mental. Mental what a difference it's made. I'm kicking myself a little bit here.
So I mentioned to Neil earlier, we had a little bit of a chat, and we had a bit of a laugh all the way through the match really, and I did say to him, I do feel like it's going to be last hour when the carp come in, but due to it being so still and that lack of water movement, I do think they're going to sort of sneak in. I think we're nearly 4 hours into the match now with just over a couple of hours left, and I just think it'll be the last hour. I think they'll sort of sneak in stealthily almost and come over that feed, and they won't be over willing to feed straight away, which could mean some foul hook fish, which would be a bit of a mare. I think by the time they sort of decide they want to feed and they get competitive with each other feeding, I think it's going to be very late in the day, very late in the match. So back out on the long rig again, as you can see, and down over the back of the shelf there. Didn't happen, so back over the feed again. And in the last match, if you remember, we were third overall, second in the silver, so we double bubbled, which is nice. You can pick up in both in this league. But the main thing is we had 3 deficit points, if you like. So that's pretty good, really. Out of 20 people fishing, you know, if you come last, you get 20 points. Come first, you get 1 point. You want to get into the final with, well, you need under 28 points normally to get into the final. So that first match we only had 3, so that was nice, and we're hoping for a decent a low score today as well. The way it's going, looking around, I think we're doing as well as anybody. I think it's just going to be a case of making the most of those carp when they come. But pegs 37, Neil's been telling me, pegs 37 to 40 have certainly been the ones to beat. And the stamper fish has got a little bit better now, and I've gone up to 7mm meat now, because we're just inside those last 2 hours. I'm looking for quality fish now, and maybe the chance of an early carp. And that's our first sign of a carp.
Oh, mate. Neil. Yeah, first
Big
one.
mirror scale.
Come on, get big scale. Bloody hell. I shouldn't have.
So we go back to the sort of the heavy rig, if you like, our normal rig again now. Go a full 10 minutes on it, it doesn't budge. So we go back to the light rig, or lighter rig I should say, yeah, and back into skimmers. It's nice fishing though, you're just making those little adjustments all the time between rigs and just those distances you're fishing, the timing of the feeding, the timing of the moving of those lines to rest whichever line, etc. So nothing again, and then we're going to put in a little bit more bait now, as I feel it is coming up to carp o'clock. So we put a bit of kit in now. Then we go back out on the long line, past the feed, down the shelf, and just let what we put in settle. Not bother with the edge anymore, because we haven't had a bite on it, and I don't think we're going to. It's just too flat. wanting to get this fishing relatively quickly. But at the same time, I'm quite aware I don't want to pull out again. Although we have gone up a hook size and that, we pulled out a one about £10, didn't we? We can't afford to pull out of this one, not with such little time left on the clock now. They put up such a good account of themselves. Sort of 95% of the carp in this lake are commons, and they do pull. They got great big tails, great big pectoral fins and that on them. Big rudders on them, if you like, yeah. Because it's a big deep water, really. You often find with big deep waters, they're big, powerful fish.
Yeah, I've had him on for a while. Oh, he's foul to me when off, he isn't. I ain't gonna rush it, mate. Trying not to.
So we're up on to 018 hook length now. But we only did that with sort of those 25 minutes to go because I didn't want to put fish off, but at the same time now I just feel we needed that bit of burst of carp, and we need to be able to pull on them a little bit. I mean, I'm glad I'm not on the old 16 in the green, to be honest. The way this thing's pulling, they really are pulling today. There's still not a breath of wind, is there, on the lake? So still today. I don't think I've ever fished a Topkit league where it stayed this still all day. It's been a lovely day weather-wise, and a real thinking match, which I've really enjoyed. Still a bit of time to go, though. These commons are just ridiculous. Lovely. So back out again, quick as we can. Oh, lovely bites now, isn't it? You can just sense the carp are in the peg now, right over the feed. So I'm throwing in a bit of meat, as you can see, and as I've said before, in a situation like this where it's so still, and we foul hooked a few earlier, I don't want to throw any meat in unless I'm playing a fish. If the hook from my rig's in the mouth of the fish, it's safe to throw meat in. Otherwise, it's not. They're going to come off the bottom and intercept that meat so fast, you're just going to end up foul hooking. So back in, wait for that bite. Lovely. Certainly think it's not going to be a massive weight affair. I've seen I've seen peg 37 catching, and I've heard peg 40s catching a few fish as well. 40's a corner peg, a very favoured peg to be honest, um, and that has been the sort of area. I think last time when we came third, we were the only one who framed off of this bank. Um, Hoping to do the same today, but we'll have to see. It's all to play for. Only about 12 minutes to go.
Mate, this one didn't want that 5 minutes to go, did it?
It's about £7, and that's a baby for an ear, really. I have had one though, about £4, so that's very small. I think we've got about 4 carp at the moment for about £30. We've just hooked our 5th one. And literally about 4 minutes, 5 minutes maybe of the match to go. Ah, it's a proper one. We won't be rushing this now. We're not going to have time to get in and get another one anyway, so I think we better make sure of this one. A bit of meat in just in case we get a quick chance at netting him, but he looked a good size. He certainly feels like he got some weight. These big ones don't tend to run off. There's sort of £4 to sort of £8 down here just run off. These big things just go head down, tail up, don't they, and just circle. But they just use their weight. They're just so difficult to get up.
Big fish, Neil. Big fish. Big, yeah. Not like 20, but 10 plus.
the whistle's about to sound the end of the match any second. So I think we just need to take our time now with this. Not that we've got much choice anyway. And then we'll see where we finish. So stay tuned. Let's see what we weigh, where we come.
You are, mate.
There's a lot to be said about the simplicity of this league, and yet the amount of sort of thinking and timing and so on you can put into it. Absolutely loved it. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let's see where we come.